Hey guys, so just sitting here on a Sunday morning, just working through a couple of catch-up bits, and I thought I'd share the campaign that I'm currently working on. You guys have probably seen me present this a few times if you've been hitting up the track sessions, but it's a bit of an advanced Expandi usage. So if you're using automation with your outreach, or even if you're getting a prospector to do your actual new outreach, but you've got a automation tool that you've got as well. This could be an interesting route for you. So a bit of an advanced stuff. It's essentially what we would call a long-term warming up sequence through LinkedIn. So where we would do a long-term warming up sequence through email marketing, send an email every week just to keep your audience up to date. My thoughts with LinkedIn is that your regularity does not want to be once a week. So the regularity probably is about once a month. So what I'm putting together is a campaign. So if I go into my campaign section here, and I've got these warming up sequences, and essentially what I've done is I put together a set of just short messages, just bringing people into some consideration assets and thought leadership stuff, such as my weekly moments, such as my free community, such as my thesis. Whatever you have, even recordings of weekly moments are particularly good. Whatever you have that you can share, those are the things that we can add into the sequence. So, for example, the first one here says, "Hi again," because specifically we would be only sending this to current connections who have already been through the connection sequence. And so therefore we won't be contacting for the first time, hence the hello again. And my connection sequence is very much a straight to the point connection sequence. So I go straight in, hey, let's have a meeting. And then if I don't hear back from them, then I unpeel a bit into more thought leadership. And we find that that gives me the highest ratio of meetings straight off the bat. Plus, then it's okay because you can then kind of draw people back into more of a warming up piece. So we find that that's the best combination. So if you're looking for that type of straight to the point campaign for the initial connection, check out the 5-day challenge for LinkedIn outreach. This is now what you do after them, because obviously that 5-day challenge is only like one or basically 2 emails. It's a straight to the point and a nudge. So now what we're going to do is we're going to warm them up over time. So this message here, hi again, we recently launched our exciting new community called LinkedIn for Breakfast. We talk about these things. We'd love you to be part of it, right? So that's the sort of thing that we're going to send. And it's literally just going to be, sent there. Oh, hang on. And then part of it. And then, messed that up, didn't I? And then join link. That's a J. Why is that doing that? Weird. J's look very strange. There you go. Join link is that. Okay, good stuff. So we've got that in there. So then what we do is then we put a 1 month later follow-up reply. It says, hi, I just thought I would check in with a few of my contacts. What's the big project you're working on this quarter, right? And I'll make that a full stop so it's a capital, right? What big project you working on this quarter? So what we do is a bit of thought leadership, then ask, bit of thought leadership, then ask. And the reason why we do it that way is because we're trying to just get them to respond. That's all we're trying to do. So we're starting the conversation. So get them to go and look at something, read something, tell us that they thought it was good, come back to them, ask them a question, right? So that's what we're going to do. Message 2, that's a month after they go into sequence. Then 1 month again later, I'm going to talk about, hey, we have a LinkedIn for Breakfast roundtable discussion this Wednesday, because it's always this Wednesday at 9 a.m. We're going to cover some more powerful LinkedIn tactics, because that's the theme of my roundtables. They all do. Do you fancy coming along? And then again, the join link, this time not to the group, but to the Zoom link for them to register. Then a month later again, I have a replay from the session I ran called Double Your Income Work Half the Time, which isn't actually the one that I was talking about previously, but it's another one. And this is the question. Everyone's raving about it. Would you like the link? So the hope is that they say yes. And again, then we're into conversation. Another example here, I recently published my notes on how to scale a hyper-profitable expert business without investments within 12 months. Thought you might be interested. Bam. You see how they're all very short. Again, that's the question. So we just line them all up like that. So then we've got a nice sequence, 5-6 months worth of content. Then I'm just maxing out for me. Hang on, press apply. Cancel, press apply. Now what I'm doing is I'm maxing out all my settings in here. So wax out to 100 to 100, put it on high priority. making it active. So just doing everything I can to get as many people through this sausage machine as possible. And then I'm going over to my network because it's my network that I want to actually add into this campaign. So what I'm doing is I'm working on contacts, new contacts, but not contact requested. So I just want people I'm currently connected with. I'm doing people without a campaign. So no, I don't want to contact anybody that's currently in other campaigns. I'm going to filter on keyword and say I just want to start off by putting my coaches in here, because that's my target. You might be targeting accountants, whatever you might be targeting, right? So now we can see that I've got 479 people that still are not in a campaign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 100 people per page, because you can only add a page at a time. So instead of me working 25 and 25 people per page, I'm working 100 people per page. So then what I do is I instantly copy the whole of this, and then I'll untick people I don't want to go into this campaign, right? So the previous clients or people I'm already in conversation with. And then what I do is I just scroll through this, looking at everybody, just scanning, making sure there isn't people like Sarah, who's a client, who's going to get added to this, or Stephen, who's a client. And so you just scroll through, hoping to get everybody you can into this. So it's a nice sort of process. It's what I'm doing on a Sunday morning because it just allows me just to kind of have a little bit of a play with this sort of stuff, just a bit of quiet time. I only need to do this for about an hour or so. And then, I've literally written this campaign in 20 minutes because it's all stuff that I already have. And now I'm just going to spend the rest of my hour just chucking stuff into that, chucking people into that. And I probably won't come back to this for, maybe a month or so. Get enough people in here and happy days, right? So now I've got those people selected. So 95, because I've deselected 5 of them. I'm simply going to go assign to a campaign. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go down, find my campaign, the Warming Up Messenger campaign. Perfect. And then I'm going to assign all those contacts to it. Bam. Now, what am I going to do with those people I deselected? So you see how our campaign says without a campaign. Now, I have a number of different campaigns that I do this for. So, for example, Sarah, Stephen, and Sarah and Stephen are current campaign clients, right? So I'm going to assign them to my customers campaign. Why do I do that? Because it means that now they're in a campaign that's dormant without anybody in there. And what does that mean? It means that they won't show up in the search anymore once I do a research. If I was to go back to page 2 and then go to page 1, the reason why I'm doing this is it just refreshes it. And then go back to page 1. Because it's still coach without a campaign, who's a contact, you can see how they are no longer in there. Awesome. Now I've got these people in here. So Nell and Robin, ironically, they're both previous clients, but I have recently had a strategy session about them coming back as alumni. So I'm going to put them in my strategy session booked. Perfect. Right. So I've got another campaign that's like yes to strategy session, but haven't booked yet. I've got a do not prospect one because they're people that aren't right. I've got warming up messages, etc. Right. So it means that I just can put these people in once they're taking action. So I'm not like hounding them again. Right. And then I know Mindy here, who's a speaker at some bits that I've done previously. I haven't refreshed the feed here. And I also know Michael from back in the day. Now, they're both kind of influencers, people that could be good speakers for what we do, but potentially wouldn't be a target. So I'm going to put them in my do not prospect because they haven't got a strategy session booked with me. They're not a customer, but I don't want them just getting a normal prospecting. If I want to reach out to Michael, I might be going, hey mate, how you doing? Been a while since we saw each other at this event and, wondering how life's getting on. Right. And therefore I want to keep them in a separate campaign. So now all of those will be removed. So if I go to 50 people per page, just another way of making this refresh, you see none of them are there. So then I'd go back now, select them all, and then work through the next list. Bam. Cool. So that's how you take it. That's what I'm doing on a Sunday morning. And I hope that helps. Go out there, get yourself a long-term messaging warming up sequence. Big love. Take care.